Hi, everyone, and welcome to this month's 8th grade book talks. My name is Rebecca, and I'm a youth and school services librarian at the Vernon Area Public Library. Today, I'm here to talk about two action-packed fantasy books I think you'll like. The first one is called Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. Quentin Peters was the golden boy of the Rosewood low-income housing projects, receiving full scholarships to 2 different Ivy League schools. He was easily the smartest person in any room he walked in, no matter where he was. When he mysteriously went missing, his little sister Amari can't understand why it's not a bigger deal. Why isn't this story all over the news? And why do the police and everyone else automatically assume he was into something illegal? Amari knows better. She knows Quentin would never mess with anything illegal, and something is up. Then Amari discovers a ticking briefcase in her brother's closet, a briefcase meant for her eyes only. Judging by this briefcase, there was far more to Quentin than she ever knew. It seems he left for a nomination for a summer tryout at the secretive, exclusive Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. Amari is certain the answer to finding out what happened to him lies somewhere inside. So she accepts the invitation and is thrust into a world that exists parallel to our own. A separate universe, if you will, where she has to wrap her head around the idea of mermaids, dwarves, yetis, and magicians, all being real things that walk the streets in disguise. Amari must compete against some of the nation's wealthiest kids who have known about this supernatural secret world their whole lives and are able to easily answer questions like which 2 great beasts reside in the Atlantic Ocean and how old is Merlin. Just getting around the Bureau is a lesson alone for Amari with signs like the Department of Hidden Places this way, or is it? If that all wasn't enough, every Bureau trainee has a talent enhanced to supernatural levels to help them do their jobs. But Amari's newly discovered talent is an illegal ability, as if she needed something else to make her stand out. With an evil magician threatening the whole supernatural world and her own classmates thinking she's an enemy, Amari has never felt more alone. But if she doesn't pass 3 tryouts, she may never find out what happened to her brother. This is the first book in a series, and the second one, Amari and the Great Game, comes out next May. All right, our next book is called Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. Raybearer is an African-inspired fantasy about a girl named Teresai. She was raised in isolation by a mysterious, often absent mother known only as the Lady. They live in a global empire called Eritzar, ruled by an emperor and a crowned prince. It is said in Eritzar that there were once 13 kingdoms on separate islands, all with their own distinct cultures and practices. The one thing they all had in common was they were plagued by attacks from Abiku, terrifying demons and spirits from the underworld that laid waste to their nations and slaughtered their people. Eventually, a noble ruler of one of the most powerful nations, Inoba, connected the islands into a supercontinent using magical powers. Through either military might or diplomacy, they conquered all the underworld until they agreed on a peace treaty. His descendants continued to rule for hundreds of years by divine right. But once the emperor or prince has one person sworn to his council from each of the 11 nations under his rule, he is immune to death, except by old age. For the protection to properly work, though, each sworn council member has to genuinely love him, romantically or platonically, but it must be real. Usually the council is arranged by the preceding emperor recruiting a group of hopefuls at an early age, and they grow up with the young prince and act as a family. The lady wishes to assassinate the emperor's heir to end his line, so she sends Teresai to the capital of the global empire of Eritzar to compete with other children to be chosen as one of the crown prince's council of 11. If she's picked, she'll be joined with the other council members through the Ray, a bond deeper than blood. The closeness is irresistible to Teresai, who has always wanted to belong somewhere. But Teresai is a plant on the council. She's supposed to kill the crown prince. But the only problem is he's kind of her best friend. Raybearer is the first book in the series, and the second book, Redemptor, came out last year. It is easily one of the best books I've ever read, and I hope that you love it too. These are just a couple of our favorite books for 8th graders at the Vernon Area Public Library this month. For more information about these books and how you can put them on hold with your Vernon Area card, you can contact us by phone, email, or even messaging. If you have a library card from another area library, you can contact them to see if they are available there too. You can find other great book recommendations for your grade and more using the links in the description below. See you at the library.